What is Microsoft's recent announcement on its Dynamics 365 CRM certifications, and how will it affect you? Hello, I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. So we've got 4 exams: the MB-210 for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales, the 220 for Marketing, the 230 for Customer Service, and the 240 for Field Service. So you can see that candidates are responsible for implementing solutions that support a life cycle in whatever you choose to do. So whether it is sales, marketing, customer service, or field service. So what you need to do is a lot of configuring and also customizations, including the default administration areas. So if you look at the requirements not for the exam, but for the certification, you'll see that it's not just that one exam that you need to pass, but you also need to pass the PL200 exam, the Microsoft Power Platform Functional Consultant. Only then will you be given that associate certification. Until now, Microsoft have announced that that second requirement, the PL200 Microsoft Power Platform Functional Consultant, will no longer be required as of July the 28th. So if you pass this exam after July the 28th, then you will get the certification regardless of whether you've got the PL200. If you've passed it before July the 28th, then you will be awarded this corresponding certification, which will expire in 1 year's time. So you may be looking at this and going, great, I no longer need to even think about the PL200 exam. However, if you go into the requirements, here for instance is a requirement of the MB-210, we have got configure model-driven apps, create and configure forms, views, and site maps. So that's a fairly headline view of what you need to do. Now that requires knowledge of the Power Platform. And if we go back to the announcement, and if I scroll down, you'll see that it will assess you on a limited set of Microsoft Power Platform skills. However, some of the skills measured will assume that you have Microsoft Power Platform skills not explicitly covered on the exam. Now, they recommend that you still pass the PL200 exam before taking one of these exams. I'm not so sure about that. If we have a look at the PL200, so if I just copy this, paste it, and change it to the PL200, you'll see that this functional consultant requires you to create applications and enhancements, customer user experiences, system integration, data conversions, custom process automation, and custom visualizations. Now, if I scroll down to the study guide, you'll see that there is an enormous amount of things that are not needed. So creating a data model, managing logic, none of that is needed, at least the data model at the very least, because that means creating it in the Dataverse. Well, that's what you've got all of this functionality in Dynamics 365 for. Business rules, again, most of that will be covered in Dynamics 365. Configuring the Dataverse, configuring security settings, creating Canvas apps, not needed. Here we have the create model-driven apps, and we have create and configure forms, views, charts, dashboards, and site maps. Again, there's lots more things that aren't needed. Create and manage Microsoft Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents chatbots, and integrate Microsoft Power Apps with other services. And you may notice Dynamics 365 is not one of those services. And then we have got manage solutions, so exporting solutions, importing solutions, and so on. Personally, I don't think that this level is required. Now, Microsoft think differently. They recommend that you pass the PL200 exam. I would suggest you have awareness of the topics on the PL200 exam. But I also think, well, maybe it's not the 200 exam that would be beneficial, but the 100 exam, the Microsoft Power Platform App Maker. Now, the 200 exam has got the requirements that the 100 exam has got and more. However, the 100 is more practically based on creating apps, including model-driven apps. So if we have a look at the requirements, so I'll go down to download exam skills outline, you'll see that we're creating business solutions, identifying Microsoft Power Platform components. We are creating solutions, including model-driven apps. And there's a bit more here in terms of the specifics. We've also got other things such as creating Canvas apps, Microsoft Dataverse, Power Automate flows, and a bit more. So I think it is more this exam that would be of more use to people who are going for the Dynamics 365 functional consultant exams. However, the 200, being an expanded version of the 100 with additional topics, certainly wouldn't hinder you. So if you're going for the MB-210, 220, 230 or 240 exams, then know that you no longer need, as of July the 28th, to have another exam under your belt, the PL200. However, it would be useful for you to have knowledge of the topics. Now, if I can help you on your journey, then please, I hope you consider looking at my Udemy courses. So I don't have courses on the MB-210, 220, 230, 240. However, I do have one on the MB-910, which has a look at the fundamentals. So if you're completely new to Dynamics 365, then in 4.5 hours, this will take you through Dynamics 365 marketing, sales, customer service, and field service. In other words, exactly the apps which are examined in the 210, 220, 230, and 240 exams. So this gives you a feel for everything. Now, if you do want to go down the Power Platform side, then you may wish to start with the 900, which is the fundamentals. So this is similar to the MB-910. So we'll be having an overview of all of the Power Platform, including Power BI, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Canvas and model-driven Power Apps. Then you may wish to build on this with actually creating the apps in the PL100 Power Platform App Maker. So here we'll be creating Canvas and model-driven apps. So if I go down to the model-driven apps section, here we can see we've got around 2 hours of videos specifically for creating model-driven apps. The sitemap, the main form, the views, charts, dashboards, forms, and business rules. And then if you did want to take it further into the PL200 as recommended by Microsoft, then here is my course on it, and it builds on what's already there in the PL100. So you're not doing duplication. You're not doing the PL100 effectively again. So in 9.5 hours, we'll look at the additional things that you need. For example, more about Canvas apps and model-driven apps, and Power BI, implementing AI Builder, virtual agent chatbots, Microsoft Dataverse, and solutions. There are links to all of these courses in the description to this video. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you do decide to go forward with the MB-210, 220, 230 and 240 and know that you no longer need to have passed the PL200 exam first. If you like this video, then please click the like and why not subscribe and click that bell. That way you'll be notified of any new videos, including videos that I've done in the past on the updates to the MB-210, 220, 230 and 240. And the PL200 was moderately recently updated as well. Also, please have a look at my other YouTube channel, SQL Server 101, where I take you through things about SQL Server, including updates to certifications. Thank you very much for watching this, and keep learning.